Hello, welcome back to Homeschool Wherever. My name is Carmen Sognonvi, and in today's video, I am going to take you on a tour of our homeschool room. Now, the first thing I have to say is that's a little bit misleading because we don't actually have a dedicated homeschool room. We homeschool in our shared space, so if you are looking for ideas on how to homeschool without having a dedicated room, or if you're homeschooling from a small space, I hope that you will find some inspiration from the way that we've set things up. If you're new to our channel, we are a multiracial secular family living in New York City, and we are homeschooling for the very first time this year. We have two girls, one in the 3rd grade and one in 6th grade. This channel is all about documenting our homeschooling journey, so if that sounds of interest to you, I hope you'll subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, we are full-time family travel creators, so if you want to see that side of our lives, check out our travel channel at Top Flight Family. So if you're anything like me, you've probably spent a lot of time on YouTube watching fun room tours of beautifully styled homeschool rooms. There are some families who have some beautiful spaces that are filled to the brim with books and maps and cool posters and manipulatives. So if you're looking for that, I'm sorry to disappoint because we don't really have that going on here. We live in a duplex apartment within a brownstone in Brooklyn, New York. And while our place is pretty big by New York City standards, by the standards of literally any other place in the country, it's small. So we don't have a room that we can dedicate just for homeschooling. And even if we did, I'm not sure how much we would use it because it's been actually really nice to kind of incorporate homeschooling into our everyday living spaces. It feels cozy, it feels homey, we're always a couple steps away from the kitchen, so it's easy to grab a snack or a drink of water. So even though I love watching those homeschool room tours, I'm also really happy with the way we've set things up ourselves. So for the rest of this video, I'll be on the other side of the camera. I will walk you through our space and show you exactly how we use it, how we organize our stuff, and I will see you on the other side. Okay, so first we will start over here, which is our living room, and this is the area where we actually always start our mornings. So we will start by doing some free writing, a little bit of meditation. We'll do our reading here. So I've got this decorative bookshelf here, but then you'll see we have just a random mess of books in this area, a little bit of spillover here as well. So there's some books there. And then we also have this random pile of books. This is kind of like what we're currently reading, as well as some library books. And excuse the mess over here. Those are Ella's toys. So yeah, this is where we start our mornings. I will usually sit here. I do read alouds to the girls. And then while I'm doing that, they're coloring here. Okay, so let's move through the kitchen to the other side of the room, and this is where we spend most of our time. Now you probably recognize that little corner. That's where I shoot all my videos. Here's my little ring light that I use for that. My desk is really messy right now, sorry about that. But just to show you, I do have a couple of drawer units under here. They're not the most aesthetic thing right now, but they do fit really well, and I would say that a lot of the overflow of office supplies or school supplies goes there. And the rest of our homeschool area is really the dining room. So you'll see that by design and by necessity, we're a little bit more on the minimalist side. Since this is a shared space, I didn't necessarily want the homeschool stuff to completely take over this room. And so that's why you'll see that I've gone with white for a lot of the shelving and the containers, because that way it just kind of like blends into the background. So in terms of storage, I have one of these ubiquitous 3-shelf rolling carts from the Container Store, which a lot of families have because they work so well. And so up here on the top shelf, we basically have, a lot of the writing utensils. We've got markers, pencils, coloring pencils, pens, scissors, glue, and down here are 3 rolls of packing tape, which may seem really random, but the girls love using packing tape in their little crafts. They kind of use it as like a way to laminate things that they're making. So we always keep well stocked on that. Then here we have just miscellaneous things. We've got our glue gun, hot glue gun, and the sticks, extra tape. These things are really cool. I found these from following like bullet journal channels, and it looks like correction tape, but it's actually glue. It's like an alternative to glue, but it's like so much easier and neater, and yeah, I love these things. Tons of Post-its and some paper clips. And then here on the bottom shelf is sort of our art supplies. And obviously this is gonna grow, but right now we have just an assortment of tempera paints and some brushes. and some palettes. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't show our blackboard. This is Sean's pride and joy. She loves updating this every day with which day it is of school and who is the teacher, mommy or daddy, and then she likes doing her little doodles, so that's super cute. So here's a little collection of board games. Obviously, this is not going to be the permanent spot for it. I do have plans to revamp this space a little bit. As you'll see, it is the most bare and kind of sad looking out of the rest of the space over here. So we're going to do like a little gallery wall up here. We need a new dining set. This thing is literally 20 years old. It's held up well, but the upholstery is all stained and gross, so definitely needs an update. And I'm probably planning to do back here a whole row of like the IKEA Besta cabinets, similar to the media cabinet we have in the living room, but a little bit taller, and just to have some extra storage. So the board games will probably end up going in there. So this bookcase is the other main area of homeschool stuff storage for us. So as you can see, it's not a lot altogether. We're trying to keep it to mostly the things that we use daily. So on either side here, I have this little letter sorter from Poppin, I think it's from. And I just find it really useful, essentially, to hold books. So this side are kind of like oversized textbooks, and this side are some of the smaller books that we're using for our history curriculum, which we are using O Freedom. And if you want to see all of our homeschool curriculum choices, I made a whole video about that, so make sure you go and check that out. I will link it below. And these two are just little book bins. This side is mostly just extra supplies, like extra notebooks. And then this side is sort of all the stuff that I use daily as a teacher. So this is my homeschool bullet journal, my folder where I keep various things. We've got the Beast Academy guidebooks, and then various other curricula like our Brave Writer stuff and things like that. Then this next shelf, this is sort of the paper shelf. On top of here, we have printer paper, then we have loose leaf, then we have graph paper, and then here, I just got this. This is like vellum paper, so it's a little bit see-through, and I thought this would be cool for making collages and stuff. Down here, we have colored paper, also for collages and art projects, and then here I have like thicker mixed media paper. So the girls can kind of go to town in terms of art projects on that one. And then in this little drawer, I just keep like scraps of paper left over from previous art projects. And then here I have 3 big binders, and they're pretty much empty right now, but the idea is that each of us would have one. So this would be mine, Sean's, Ella's, and I have, little sheet protectors in there and divider tabs. So what I'm planning to do is at the end of each month, I would actually file all of the work that we've done in here, so we can basically have an archive. Then on this next shelf, we have a bin for Sean and Ella each. So this is where they keep the books that they use every day. So their notebooks, their sketchbooks, their workbooks, and then Sean also has her own little pencil case, even though we are very fully stocked on pencils and pens. And then down here is just kind of miscellaneous. I got a couple more bins, and this is mostly books for our unit study that we're currently doing. And then yes, we have a disco ball, which is a necessity for any homeschool room. So I definitely purposely left some room so that we can expand and add other things as the school year goes on. And then turning our attention to the kitchen, this fridge has ended up becoming sort of our bulletin board. And so this is where we display some of the work that we've done. We're doing a unit on the Mayans. And so this was a cool little art project that we did where we used cut up or torn up colored paper as a collage background. And then I printed this out from the internet and we colored it in and pasted it on. And I think it looks really, really cool. This was just one of Sean's little drawings that she did, not really related to homeschool. And then up here is our homage to the divas of disco. And the reason that those are here is because that is the topic of our first unit study. And I'm definitely going to be sharing more about that soon. Okay, if you want all the details on the secular homeschool curricula that we'll be using this school year, just click there to watch that video. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Homeschool Wherever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.